returning armor. Show the outriders to cowardly to signal for to display courage to admit defeat. White flag मैंने क्या subterfuge. A professional who prepares map. Each of the details there's each हमेशा singular रहता है has been. The curator opted thus displaying the artifact due to preservation concern. Displaying the due to against display. Neither the editor nor the contributors thus neither हमेशा singular रहता है willing to accept the changes conditionally is willing to अब singular भी है contributors and are willing to accept the changes that none of the representatives found a professional viable the proposal viable none singular रहता है none of the representatives found the proposal viable is less surprising than the fact that neither the chairperson nor the legal were named neither हमसे singular रहता है तो was neither the projection of growth nor the estimation of deficits tends to appear homogeneous. Will the authorities enforce the revised ordinance promptly? Will the authorities enforce the revised ordinance promptly? Will the authorities enforce the revised ordinance promptly? By the authorities. Will the authorities enforce the revised ordinance promptly? Will the revised ordinance be? मतलब be होना चाहिए ना. Be. The guards stood in peak formation along the causeway. The guards stood in pike formation along the causeway. कुछ तो form कर रहा था. The angular pull a large pike from the ice lake. The rebel was punished by being placed on the pike. रखा था. The infantry pikes split the enemy front line. The pike पता नहीं है. The pike gleamed beside the veteran armor. The pike gleamed beside the veteran's armor. The peak gleamed beside the veteran armor. सिपाही के साथ कुछ भी होना. The infantry ये भी pike split the enemy. हाँ. The rebel was punished by being placed on the pike. The angler pulled a large pike from the package will have been delivered by the courier before 5 p.m. The courier will have delivered the packet before they return back to home after the event. They returned back to home, returned to house, returned home after the event. They went back, returned back to home. They went back to house. They back to house. They returned home after the event. He was accused for theft. He was accused of theft. He said, "How long have you been waiting?" He asked, How long? How long had I been waiting? How long had I been waiting? The coach said that the players were improving with each match. What did the coach say? The players were improving with each match. The players were improving with each match. The players were improving. The player improves. The player had improved. Were improving मतलब हो रहा है. Continue. It is research area. The findings of the investigation are the research tool. The most prevalent of this, the most prevalent this navy of 1.2 peer-to-peer network. Is it to blockchain technology? What is the significant annual consequences of the CoWIN platform? What is CoWIN platform? While the introduction of the CoWIN digital registration platforms was a significant innovation, namely marginalized large segments of population unfamiliar with smartphone or digital literacy. The digital divide thus intersects with public health, reinforcing pre-existing socio-economic. Despite the obstacle, India managed to the decentralization of vaccine procurement to state the engagement of local information leaders and the use of mobile vaccination unit gradually drop outreach. Okay, it slowed down the rural internet speed. It leads to digital literate now. It exposed user data now. It led to under-reporting of no. It slowed down rural internet speed. Okay. Despite this obstacle, India managed to recalibrate its study. It inwardly marginalized large segment of the population until digital divide thus probably have slowed down rural. It led to under-reporting of data. It exclude digitally illiterate citizens. Why was vaccine distribution initially skewed in vaccine? Inequitable distribution. Scale in the internet complex. As the world's second most populous country, India faced the daunting task of this over a billion of people manufacturing. The initial rollout was hampered by inequitable distributions, with urban centers receiving a disproportionately higher number of doses than others. This imbalance is not only for the administrative centralism but also for the lack of cold chain infrastructure in remote regions where power outrage and storage limitation renders vaccine transport and excessive production in urban vaccines. International supply was unavailable. Rural people refuse vaccine. Urban areas receive more due to centralization laws. What strategy was used to counter misinformation and hesitancy? Misinformation and hesitancy. Misinformation on social media and this much. Vaccine spikes fueled by misinformation on social media and culture and misconception undermine public trust. Rumors suggest the adverse effects of popular control, digital, particularly in radical or exaggerated restriction among this much. Restricted legally import foreign vaccine on the use of local influencers, and local limit national censorships of social media. Which phrase will summarize the core theme of the crisis? The success of Indian pharma export, the risks of India's vaccination strategy under crisis, public health and digital inadequacy interplay. What is the other word? National censorship of social media. Vaccine spectacles fueled by misinformation on social media and cultural misconception. Critical, sarcastic, analytical, yet causative, optimistic, simultaneously vague on social media. Rendon, Chinchinovi. So the white feather needs to look cowardly. refers to deceit or tricky. Candor means honesty. Neither the editor nor the contributor is willing to accept the changes unconditionally. Has been willing, were willing to accept, were willing to contributors. The editor nor the contributors is compound connected by neither nor. How long? There exists no recourse for situation and violations are completed. That there exists no recourse for citizens if environmental violations are conducted. Are condoned at the ministerial level underlying we shall have dispatched the inquiry before Friday evening. The investigation the medieval days window project elegantly from the chapel on the medieval window the photos will be printed by the studio within an hour. The studio to continue. So, the judge declared the prisoner as guilty. Prisoner guilty as being guilty. Prisoner guilty. Ravi said, I like this pen. Ravi said that he liked that pen. Liked. He liked that pen. The judge said that justice must be served at any cost. Justice should be served The rapid spread of misinformation, disinformation on social media platforms represent a major challenge to the public discourse. As a result, professional fact-checking organizations have emerged. It is a process now. Research is a founding pillar of academic and sound progress. The finding of this investigation. Okay. According to the passage, which quality is most crucial for entrepreneurs? In contemporary discourse, the debate between the enterprise and the primary employment has gained remarkable traction. While traditional employment offers business structures, growth and defined career trajectory, entrepreneurs appeal to those seeking autonomy, innovation, and potential. However, both paths of the distinct and inheritance of the employment, particularly within established organizations, provide financial stability, social recognition, and institutional support. Employees are not burdened with existential risks such as capital loss or market uncertainty. Instead, they operate within frameworks of responsibility and hierarchy where risk is absorbed at multiple marginal levels. For many, these structures offer psychological comfort and a clear roadmap to progression. Entrepreneurs must navigate while a volatile market, regulatory complexity, and the absence of risk matching challenge often yet for those with a risk appetite and entrepreneurship promise a unique form of fulfillment. It allows individuals to discover existing ventures for the ground. In many cultures, steady employment is seen while entrepreneurs are often perceived as reckless or unstable. Until they succeed, this perception, however, is gradually shifting as global startup become. Therefore, lies not in which obedience, resilience, and achievement. Why is employment often psychologically comforting as part of the way? It allows flexibility, it eliminates the need for competition, it provides hierarchy and reduces risk, rapid promotion. Comforting as part psychologically comforting. Why does the passage describe social view towards entrepreneurs? Always is skeptical until proven success. But in the absence of assured income in the context, entrepreneurs always work voluntarily, no fixed salary or stable cash flow. Profits are guaranteed from start. Income is controlled by the government. Entrepreneurs always work. Why does the word dichotomy in the places most nearly meant assured, understanding, mutual, a clear divisions between two contrasting things? I guess. Where is the word dichotomy? A clear division between two contrasting things. 16 move towards social views and the traditional empire. Societal perception further complicate the dichotomy. In many oh my goodness. Has to string to his bow. He is indecisive in crucial manner. He has two romantic interests simultaneously. He has additional skill or option to rely on. Misspell. Epitome. Consequences. Consciences. SIENCIO. Conscious. Conscience. Sensuous. Had it not been for her timely intervention, the discussion might well have thus into an acrimonious stalemate. Had it not been for her timely intervention, अगर कोई intervene नहीं करता, decision might well have thus into an have emerged, developed. The regulator's decision to postpone the implementation was attributed partly to industry pressure and partly due to surrounding the Reagan amendments. Postpone the partly industrial pressure and partly due to क्यों हो रहा है? वो भी गलत है क्या? The technical adjusts the medieval Oriel window projected elegantly from the chapel wall. The medieval Oriel window projected elegantly from the chapel wall. कोई भी एक chapel wall से कोई window अच्छा से project कर रहा है. विंडो का ही बात करना, कुछ तो लाइट वगैरह का. प्लीज एडमायर द सनलाइट है. सनलाइट द ड्यूक स्टूड बाय द ब्लेजिंग इन द गिवन. ठीक है. Next. The employees often psychologically comforting expert process. It allows a flexible information, eliminates the need for competition over hierarchy, and reduce risks. Ravi said, I like the pain. Ravi said that he liked the pain. Liked. Why is this wrong? The rapid spread misinformation and disinformation on social media platforms represent a major challenge to discourage this phenomenon. This phenomenon can erode public trust in news source and undermine listeners' as a result. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. Let's complete the 18 one. रॉकी रॉकी मतलब क्या है? Select the most appropriate synonym of the given word. Ebullient, depress the attention. Sagacious, साग खा खा के बहुत वाइस बन गए. Gall and wormhole. A person of high rank, noble rank. Choose the correct spelling. discourse, free will is often celebrated as the cornerstone of individual autonomy and unlawful agency. Here, a deeper examination reveals that this possessive freedom may be more constructed than automatic. Modern society, while outwardly campaigning liberty, subtle engineering behind and societal conditions, the choices we make, what to wear, what to consume, even what to we should promote on the consumer behaviors is steady example. Market forces, behavior data and predictive analysis scout preference before individual and even conscious of their personalization engine business. But the reality does not generate those decision after engineering to optimize it. Similarly, social media platforms give information ecosystem that reinforce existing, creating cognitive echo chamber and that masquerade and inform choice. Information environment reinforcing existing belief. How do personalization algorithm affect customer choice? Competition empowers user decisions. They manipulate preference subtly. Ideas. Author mentioned career choices in context of free will to show how education leads to autonomy, other to illustrate the illusion of self-determination set by the societal filters. What tone best describes the author perspective? In political argument, the most significant is to manipulation. The impending story leverages inflation voting behavior. The illusion of participation does replace genuine engagement, more societal norms instilled through education media. A person may choose a career path, but the choice is often filtered. Okay, what appears voluntary is often a conditional response disguised as self-determination. To be clear, this is not an argument for fatalism, but rather a call for awareness. Recognizing the architecture that underpin our choices in the first step towards true agency, therefore, is not the absence of influence but the conscious interrogation of it. Without such reflection, free will. Okay, critical. Fatalism passive, neutral, the whole is reflective and critical. What personal algorithm affect customer choice manipulate preference subtly? True. Central argument if free will is incompatible or no, autonomy is best achieved through capitalism. Modern give true freedoms required intuition and influences. If the allegation had been and normal lives within the community might have had encouraged live suddenly and hurriedly. Forests are vital marine ecosystem. They say we shall overcome this challenge together. They say that they should overcome this challenge with that energy. If the allegations had been sustained and procedural was proven, the committee might have had enough. To leave suddenly and hurriedly, meaning to leave hurriedly and secretly, especially to avoid arrest or dismissed. Okay. Perambulate to walk through and around places. Circumambulate to walk all the way around something, especially in ritual manner. Loiter to stand or wait around without purpose. Goal and wonder. Deep frustration and resentment. One more. Complacent. Alert. Opprobrium. The sword of domicile, a pleasant illusion, a constant threat hanging around. Keeps a good table. Serve generous and high quality meal. Maintains a disciplined home, follow religious rules, provide food to poor people. Clever or skillful. Adapt. One who lives entirely for pleasure. लोगों में तो जो ज़्यादा खाना खाता है वो प्लेजर के लिए खाता है. Let's see. चिंता करेगा a person who believes in fate or destiny. Fatalist. The policies lack of clarity led to widespread confusion. She arrived at the interview 10 minutes early. Which showed professionalism. The CEO demanded that the report is submitted to the board not later than Wednesday. Crossover had the proposal been circulated that objection were raised at the regarding its feasibility and financial implications across all departments. They feed the animal twice a day. The animals are fed. The animals twice a day. Feed मतलब ये पास्ट में जा रहा है ना. Where to future से. Welfare class 5. The wore a silk animals और कोई कपड़े के directors serve retrieve animals. Bishop with just the The novel describes her the editor self-retrieved. The draft is understood to have been reviewed by the legal department last week. The legal is understood to have reviewed the draft last week. He is having a car for 5 years. He has a car. He had a car for 5 years. He is having a car. Having a car. He has had a car. He has a car for 5 years. He has had a car. He is having a car for 5 years. He has a car for 5 years. He had a car. He has had a car for 5 years. Has had. Has had. He has a car. He worked very hard lest he may fail. Not to love, we don't know. Hard so that he did not fail, lest he should fail. He remarked, the sculptures would have commanded greater rates had the Bosch's. He remarked that the sculptures would have commanded greater practice. Say, sculptures would have commanded. She said, why did you lie to me? She asked, why I lied to her. Machine learning models require large data processing to ensure that the data input is clean and unique. The model is tested. Once trained, the model can be data processing ensure that the input is clean and formed correctly. True. Breaking barriers to discipline is self-awareness. The first, recognize unhealthy patterns. Consistency in applying new behaviors is key to lasting change. Which of the following places are the primary places of a vessel?